Hello, Taurus. I am just getting set up here. Sorry about the bad lighting today. I'm having to do this very early because my children are at home doing homeschooling, so they need the computers and things during the day. So I'm stuck doing it at daft o'clock in the morning, but we don't mind because we're Taurus and we're strong and we're going to get the job done. I'm not Taurus, by the way, I'm Libra, but I'm in your energy, so I'm Taurus too, apparently now. Taurus and a little bit Scorpio I'm picking up on. So my Scorpio ring is here. Now, it's funny because a couple of months back, I would get nothing through for Taurus. Like, Taurus energy was like practical, not interested in airy fairy stuff. I was like, why are you even coming to my readings? I would get nothing through. It was like a dial tone. There was nothing when I tried to connect to kind of the ethers, the messages. So but I couldn't sleep last night. I couldn't sleep because I was being absolutely bombarded with stuff. Like, Taurian energy now is coming through as very, very strong. Like, you are the Emperor and the Empress in the tarot, you know, so the Hierophant, all these kind of like strong leadership, like controlling, like seizing power type energies. This is how it's coming through. It's like Taurus is seizing power. And I keep getting this with earth signs where it's like the earth signs for some reason at the moment keep having this like King of Wands energy behind them, where it's like they're going from the guys who are like, or girls, you know, guys or girls, he, she, they, take it as it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. The earth signs are going from this kind of like very dependable, very steadfast, very kind of like taking the right steps energy to being like, now's my time, I'm coming out, and I'm coming out like a phoenix on fire. Like, I am getting what I want. It's like, you know, time's up, I'm getting what I want, I'm just going for it, I'm getting the job done. So yeah, Taurus, that is very much how your energy is coming through. I keep pulling the Emperor, the Hierophant, and the King of Wands together, so it's very, very masculine energy. It's coming through to me as possibly Taurus or Scorpio energy. May be in connection to somebody called James, but doesn't have to be. It's an energy I'm picking up on. I don't know why. A lot of people are called James in the world, so take it as it will. Possibly if James and a robin, like a robin redbreast, means something to you, then that could be something. I don't know what it is, I just get the messages, right? I got bombarded with a particular name last Christmas, and I didn't know why, and I knew who it was in relation to last time, and it did turn out to be something. So yeah, it's not for me to understand why something is coming through, but if I get bombarded with a name, I know it's a thing, right? James, so could be something. So I was getting like a Veritas, like this Veritas. Now, I did study classics at uni, and Veritas was like the name for, it was like a word that meant kind of like truth and authenticity. And, you know, like if you think of the word verified, like the little blue tick on Twitter, right? If you think of when someone's verified, it's like, yes, we can say that this person is the authentic person, like they're legit. So Veritas, it kind of like means doing something with integrity. So with that, I then saw very, very clearly an elephant, like face on, an elephant. It was an African elephant. It had the big ears, which is funny because I had an Indian elephant with an ornate headdress the other week. Excuse me, my throat's closing up. Now, I really feel like when this happens, this means somebody's struggling to say something. It's the throat chakra. So this is a sign for me that somebody's really struggling to say something or to communicate something. So it's claiming up now I've said it. So yeah, an elephant full on, big African elephant, big ears, a gold-plated headdress, right? Very ornate gold-plated headdress. Now, this is going to be symbolic. You know, maybe not. Maybe you've got like an actual model, or you're doing a painting of an elephant. But for most people, it's going to be symbolic. So very ornate gold headdress. Like, it's like this elephant belongs to somebody with a lot of money, and it's like the gold kind of like like traveled along its body, so it was like spread along its trunk, and I realized it was like a gold dust paint, so like a gold dust, and like they'd like stroked the elephant's nose with it, and it was like all up its ears and everything. So this elephant was like from the crown of its head completely like gold, you know, not maybe not like its underside, but from the crown, from the ornate headpiece. So again, some may think perhaps symbolic there with like the crown chakra. Yeah, gold-plated headdress, very ornate, very impressive, which I'll come back to in a second. I heard the word gold leaf, so it could be, maybe it is an artist using gold leaf, I don't know. But to me, it was more like a very, very fine gold powder that had been spread on it. So the word impressive kept coming up for me. That's how I felt. It was like awe-inspiring, right? Impressive, this elephant. It was designed to impress. It was designed, if you think about elephants as well, like there's no stopping them. They're going to go where they want to go. Like they're a big, like a bulldozer of an animal, right? Bulldozer, bull, the sign of your sign, Taurus. And that's this energy that I'm getting. It's like I'm just going to power through, and I'm going to look really good doing it. And it's like really well planned as well. And I was picking up on this in like a few days back for my reading, and I was like, why is this in my reading? But it was like, if you're going to do something, prepare really well and do it properly. It's like that's how you're going to get the success. So this really impressive elephant, but I was hearing it wrong. I was hearing it as like empressive. So like the emperor, the empress, right? Which is how I kind of thought this feels very Taurian energy, the bull-like nature of the elephant. I think male elephants are also called bulls, right? So this bull-like elephant, empress, emperor, impressive, right? And then imperator as well, which again is another classical Latin word, the imperator, which is like a leader, right? The emperor, the person who gives the commands. Now, I also kind of got an impression or like a memory of like Hannibal, who was a Carthaginian, right? Carthaginian, if I can get my word out. And he did something that had never been done before, right? He got the elephants through the Carpathian Mountains to Rome. He was attacking Rome. So, you know, the people of Rome perhaps hadn't seen elephants before, the majority of them. So the idea of this like impressive, like huge bull of an elephant with like all this ornate decoration on it just charging into the city would have been very intimidating. So that's the kind of energy that's coming through, like this designed to impress, designed to intimidate, designed to steamroll the opposition, right? So but the point with this is like people never thought it was a surprise attack. People never thought Hannibal would be able to get those elephants through the mountains, but he did. So it's almost like the mountains in tarot represent obstacles, things that are in your path, blocking your path, that you can't, that you have to like get over. And it's like Taurus isn't just gonna, you know, Taurus doesn't have to move mountains. Taurus isn't worried about those obstacles. They're gonna prepare, and they're gonna do this thing, but they're going to do it in like a very show-stopping way, very, very impressive way. It's like Taurus is going to do something that nobody has ever done before, which is interesting because yeah, I literally got like doing the impossible, never done before, never tell me the odds, which comes up quite often. It's a Star Wars quote. So going from Star Wars, jumping from that, I realized that I think what they were getting me to is that I think Mars is in Taurus right now. I need to double check that actually. I meant to do it before the reading, but I believe the planet Mars is in Taurus. Now this explains why you've got all that fire energy, all that kind of like there's no stopping me energy. Like show stopping I'm hearing as well, show stopping. So it's all coming like it's all coming through again. And I almost got It's All Coming Back to Me Now then by, is that Celine Dion? Sorry, it's still going. Hang on. There are nights when the wind was so cold. It's all coming back to me now. It's all... I'm just writing it down. Back to me now. Yeah, so Mars in Taurus is like this... it really is like that. There's no stopping you. You've done the preparation work. You've got Mars in your sign, and you're going to go for it. And you're going to go for it like a bull in a china shop. But you're going to wear all the china. So Emperor, Empress, Hierophant, King of Wands, I've mentioned that. yeah, so Mars in Taurus, and then I was getting "Don't Stop Me" by Queen, like "Don't stop me, don't stop me, don't stop me," right? As your energy, you're this bull, right? This bull elephant. You're like, nothing's stopping you. Nothing is stopping you, Taurus. So it kind of carried on playing, and I realized as I'm thinking about like Mars being in your side, I realized that the lyrics of this song say, "I'm a rocket ship on my way to Mars," right? Right, Taurus. And I was like, oh my god, like what? Like no coincidence. Then I got the thumb pressure on my hand again. So I had this the other week. It's like someone pressing it's like someone holding your hand, but they're really pressing the thumb in. And it happened 3 times, and the second time it got really strong. It was like almost like this thumb was going to go through my hand. So whatever that means to somebody, I don't know, but it's back again. Then the energy really shifted. I mean, really shifted. If that was the Emperor energy, if that was the masculine energy, we flipped, we went right into the feminine energy, which is so interesting because I'm going to show you actually. Just give me a second. Okay, so I did a reading. I haven't posted it. I've actually deleted it because I don't feel like I read it well, and I don't think I did it justice. But it comes up when it's time to come up again. So I went for a walk the other day, and all week I'd been like seeing and hearing the name James everywhere. I was like getting bombarded with this name, and then I saw the robin. But before I saw the robin, I was kind of thinking to myself like, I have to get home. I have to get home. I have to do a reading on this James energy, and it was exactly that kind of like bull like, I'm going to get what I want energy. Like, I'm going to do it. I'm doing it now. And I don't know who this is. I do know a few Jameses, but I don't, maybe it's them. I don't know. I don't think any of them are an emperor. Sorry, Jameses. But I don't know who. It feels unfamiliar to me. It feels like somebody I don't know, somebody who's not even in my world, like they're a CEO or something, right? But it was insistent. And I mean, it could be someone who passed over with that robin. I don't know. But I did a reading for them and I said, who is James? Who is James? And I got the forest card, right? But I also got the maiden card, which I was like, that is not James's energy. That is not. The maiden is like the princess, right? The damsel in distress, the girl wandering into the forest. Like, look at these two cards. Like, the trees are black here, but the sky's lit up. And the forest is lit up here, but the sky's black. It's like yin yang. So I was like, this feels like the counterpart to James, right? The princess. The princess going into the dark, scary woods. But James is like going to protect her. Also, kind of like the father card just jumped out to me there. And I thought it's almost like James is like the emperor of emperors, the father of father, the god of gods, right? He's kind of like, it really feels like big boss energy. So I don't know. This is probably not going to be everybody's reading. This edging into a personal reading, but I feel like it could apply to, definitely you could be feeling this energy. So we had that James like bull like elephant energy, and then I kind of went into this energy. I was calling her Lily because of the song by Alan Walker, Lily, and I got right to the end of the reading and I was like, Lily and James, that's Harry Potter's parents. And I was like, are you pranking me, universe? Are you pranking me? So but anyway, Lily, and Lily's associated with people who've passed over. So I don't know if this is like past life, people who've passed over. I don't know what it is. But anyway, so we switched energy because then what I was getting was I felt like I was dancing. I felt like I was in somebody's arms doing a waltz. I felt like I was this princess energy rather than the like elephant energy. My energy completely switched. So I was like this princess doing this waltz, like doing this like, yeah, waltz. And Once Upon a Dream was playing, the Disney version, right? Aurora Sleeping Beauty, which keeps coming up in different readings. So Once Upon a Dream, and I could see these two butterflies. So it's two people dancing a waltz, and I could see these two butterflies kind of like, like mating in the air, flying around, kind of doing a butterfly waltz in the air. And it was beautiful. And then I kind of got this impression of a music box, right? The ballerina spinning in a music box. I don't know if that's relevant to anybody. And then I also got, as well as Once Upon a Dream, I got Dream a Little Dream. So dream a little dream of me. So very different energy, very, very much like yang energy and yin energy, right? The princess and the protector. So very traditional roles, but like this was beautiful and this was impressive. So So then I saw, it was kind of like I was in this ballroom and I could see a gold, and now I wasn't asleep, I was awake, and I was seeing these images like flashing in front of my eyes. Like if this was your vision, it was like these messages were going in front of my mind's eye. Like I was just being shown things. So I wasn't asleep. It was a gold like column pedestal with a very large gold vase on, and then like gold like a gold floral arrangement inside it, completely gold. And it was almost like the Midas touch, right? Everything you touch turns to gold. So that's good and bad kind of thing. But, yeah, take that as you will. Then I could see a gold, like a gilded cage, right? With two, so everything gold, like overwhelmingly gold. So money, power, right? But inside this bird cage there were two very bright blue birds, like bluebirds, and the cage door was open, but the bluebirds were staying inside, which I've only just realised. So I don't know if that's relevant to anybody. Then I kind of thought of Charles Bukowski. I've kind of been reading a bit of Charles Bukowski, who's a poet, and he has a poem that's like, there's a bluebird in my heart, I think it is. There's a bluebird in my chest, or there's a bluebird in my heart. So could be relevant to somebody. Then I got, like, this is all very quick succession, like bombarded, right? I had to say stop giving me messages because I've got so much for Taurus now and I want to sleep. Then I got a very sharp prick on this thumb, like by the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes, right? Very, very sharp prick. Again, at the same time, I was getting this feeling on my hand over here. So that's like the spinning wheel, all this stuff is like Princess Aurora's Sleeping Beauty. She pricks her finger on the spinning wheel, so again, took me a minute to get that connection. Then completely separately, so I'll just move James and Lily from our view for a second. It's not all about you, James and Lily. Maybe it is. I was kind of thinking maybe it's something to do with the presidential inauguration. I think that happens tomorrow on the 20th, right? And I actually did look up Joe Biden to see what star sign he was, and he's Scorpio. And I was saying it feels like Taurus/Scorpio energy, but I don't know about the feminine energy. That's something completely different. So I don't know. It could just be that. It could just be what's going on globally. Yeah. Next, so after all that stuff, I saw an image of clear plastic curls. So they were like, if you remember telephone cords, that very tight curl, but it was a lot of them, and it was almost like noodles, like if like the clear noodles that you can get. So very, very clear plastic spirals, like loads of them, like it was a box of these plastic spirals. So I don't know what that means. I don't know what that is. No idea. But I saw it, so it's in your reading now. Could be relevant to you, could not be. Then this morning I woke up, and as I was kind of waking up, I got Let's Stick Together by Bryan Ferry, which I can't remember the tune of now. Again, it's one of those songs that come through, and it's like, it comes out the blue, Bluebird, comes out the blue, haven't heard it for years, haven't heard it recently, like it's not like I listened to it yesterday, it's stuck in my head. Like completely, just all of a sudden this song just is in my head from nowhere. Let's Stick Together. It's like think of the kids. It's like somebody who's maybe thinking about leaving a marriage and the other person saying think of the kids, something like this. I can't remember the lyrics to it. It's one of those songs that to me in my head it's like right. So like I don't know the lyrics, but I looked them up, and yeah, so interesting song there. Right, Taurus. Done with the intuitive stuff. I'm going to drink some coffee. I'm going to make sure I'm fully hooked up, and then we're going to pull you some cards. I'll be back with you in a moment. Oh no, I need to do a song for you on camera. Everything's a mess now. I've just got boxes everywhere from opening those cards. Okay, so let's get you a song on camera. So at the moment we've got Danny Minogue Put the Needle on It, which came through just after Aries' reading yesterday. So Taurus, please. Taurus, 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 Taurus. What is that? Come on, Mike Jack. Now that has very rude lyrics, so don't look that one up if you are of a sensitive disposition. But Okay, whatever reason that is there, that is your song for this reading. Interesting one, Taurus, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so that song is iffy. I was talking about how this bull-like steamroller energy of I'm gonna get exactly what I want, like nothing standing in my way. It does come across as, now I don't think this is necessarily, and this is why I didn't post that reading the other day, because I wasn't sure. It has the tendency to possibly spill over into a very, very destructive energy, very narcissistic, kind of like egocentric energy, where it's like the only thing that matters is what I want. And obviously the lyrics of that song are incredibly disrespectful to women. So do be cautious about men in power who kind of use and abuse people and take what they want. Not going to say that's, I did mention Joe Biden. I don't know bugger all about him, to be honest. American politics, totally over it. Just give me my queen, I'm fine. But yeah, politicians always controversial, right? It could be something to do with people who are leaving office, maybe. I don't know. But as I was kind of tuning into the energies, I do the Lord's Prayer, and I do ask for the energies to come in and help me and make sure I interpret things correctly. My thumb's getting the prick again. I'm getting the thumb prick again here. And as I was tuning in, they were just going protection, 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 like this to me. So whether that means somebody has to use protection, or whether it means that, I think it means that the universe, wherever these messages are coming from, that energy is in a protective mode. One of the people, again, I'm not religious, so I believe in everything and nothing. So I'm a bit of a melting pot personally of different cultural influences. But one of the energies that I kind of asked to guide my reading, to make sure everything is for the highest good, is Archangel Michael, who I associate with a very, very protective energy. So yeah, protection could be that the maiden's getting protected against a very dominant male energy. So take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. I feel a bit sick now. Let's get this reading done. I don't feel like it's you, Taurus. I don't think somebody like that would be coming to one of my readings, because quite frankly, I think they're too egocentric, and I don't think they would be open to something that's airy-fairy is what I'm doing. So I don't feel like it's your energy. And I don't know why it's coming through in your reading. Maybe the cards, when I pull cards, it'll be something completely different. I just do as I'm told. So if it's not your reading, just leave it. But there could be something interesting in there for you. It could be that you're just thinking about, I don't know, abuses of power. It could be something that you've been reading in the news and it's preoccupying your mind. So that could be why it's coming through. Okay, let's get one card, please. One card, please. For Taurus's reading. We're doing Taurus today, please. James can get out of here. It's not his personal reading right now. I heard he wouldn't like that. Okay, interesting. Right, one card, please. One card, please. Wildness, electricity. Okay, electricity. Could be doing things on electrical devices, of course, like, internet things. Internet things, she says, like a granny. Keep staying connected with social media, but it's also like fired up, right? Like an electric charge, like wildness, like that. It does kind of symbolize that elephant, where it's like a wild animal. Perhaps you've been very restrained, is what I'm getting through. Perhaps you've been very restrained, perhaps possibly by job, possibly by the government, right? The government's telling us stay at home, only go out if it's essential, like it's a fucking blitz or something. And that's not me dismissing COVID. Obviously it's important. I wish they'd done it properly in the first instance, in those first couple of months. If we'd have done it properly then perhaps it wouldn't be such a mess now. But electricity, and wildness, it feels like maybe this is burning inside you, this need to kind of like break free from shackles, break free from restrictions, to express yourself, to just kind of be wild and free and not have a care in the world, you know, to do what you want to do. It could be that that is the kind of more lily-like energy, you know, trapped in the tower, wanting to break free, wanting to express herself, metaphorically, of course. I mean, don't have to express yourself metaphorically, but I mean breaking free from the tower. Okay, let's get a card, please. Time for a deep dive. The Swan Spirit. Okay, we'll read from the book on that one, but let's just pull you one more card as kind of like the header for your reading today. Please stay still, cards. They've got an energy all of their own today. Taurus, please. Taurus, please. Yeah, I feel like we've gone into the lily energy. The Two of Air. I keep getting this. I keep getting this personally. It's driving me mad because I'm not quite sure what it means for myself. The Two of Air can be... normally it's crossed swords. Somebody's crossing the swords across the heart space, so it can be blocked, like somebody's blocked. You've cut communication with someone or something. It could be some kind of like crossroads in your thoughts as well. The air represents swords. Swords represent thoughts and communication. So it could be some kind of like blockage of thoughts or communication, where it's like there's crossed sword energy, like two different perspectives, and this could be you with another person possibly, but normally it's, sorry about my rumbly tummy, I've not had breakfast yet. Normally it's like within yourself, like conflicting thoughts, and it causes some kind of mental blockage. But they also cross the swords over the heart space, so it's almost like thoughts protecting that heart space. I will read from the book for that one as well, because it's got an interesting little spin on the traditional Two of Swords meaning, so it could be relevant to somebody there. I'm not going to read this deck. Now, it's a beautiful deck. I've only just bought it, the Elemental Oracle, because I'm getting into kind of physics and things. But the actual guidance from the book does talk about kind of like the properties of electricity. You know, electricity is very fluid. It can jump. It can be contained, but it also flows. So there could be something there to that. Could be the electricity someone feels with somebody else, right? An electric connection, that magnetic pull, possibly. I'm thinking of how magnets are strengthened with and controlled with electricity. So I'm thinking about, again, it's like high school science, so I can barely remember it, but something to do with like a magnetic coil, right? You can coil copper wires, is it, around a magnet, and run electric pulses through it to turn the magnet on and off. It's like how those things work in the junkyard that kind of like pick up cars, those big giant magnets. So yeah, something to do with electricity turning magnets on and off, making them, and they make them really strong as well, don't they? So something to that. My tummy is being very noisy, which, you know, if I was going to interpret it like as part of the reading, I would say that's your stomach chakra. So it's to do with confidence and you know, taking that leap of faith and having the confidence to have that drive and ambition and do what you want. So it could be someone's having issues with that aspect, possibly. Time for a deep dive. With their graceful long necks, swans are able to reach into the depths. When swan spirit arrives, you are called to take a deep dive beyond what is easily available on the surface. Why does this feel like my reading? This is what's been coming through in my own personal readings. I can't really read for myself very well anymore. I have to rely on other readers because I don't know, I don't know what's happened. I just can't read for myself anymore. But I do keep getting this stuff about like deep dives, and this card again always comes out for me. So when swan spirit arrives, you are called to take a deep dive beyond what is easily available on the surface. You may think you know what's best for you now, but take the plunge into the depths of your awareness, for there is knowledge you are not aware of, and great treasures to discover. Deeper understanding awaits you, and a perspective that comes from greater self-knowledge is what you need right now to better understand a situation or relationship. As you come to know yourself more intimately, so too will you come to better know others. So Swan Spirit asks you to go beyond the surface of what is happening between you and others, and resist the temptation to judge by superficial appearances. Know there is much deeper potential for loving connections, forgiveness, and mutual understanding. Choose to dive deep into your why, asking the deeper questions of yourself. You are led by the grace of the Swan Spirit. So maybe if you want to understand others, maybe you need to do some shadow work first. Okie dokie, let's right, let's pull some cards. Let's just kind of push everything up a little bit. What I'm doing today, if you had a look at the last reading that I did past, present, future, headspace, heart space, action space. I'm not doing that today. What I'm doing today is more of a timeline. So I'm going to pull the same amount of cards, 9 cards, but it's a timeline. Okay, so tell me a timeline for Taurus, please. Now, I don't know what, oh yeah, okay. Could definitely be feeling that magnetic connection there. I don't have any kind of like, I don't know what the amount of time is. It could be a week, it could be years, okay? But it's progression, and it can be different for everybody. So the Taurians coming to the reading today, you may find yourself along this timeline at some point. So you may say, oh, I've done that. I'm kind of here. This is my future. Or you may be right at the beginning. You may be right at the end. So depending on how much work you do on things like your shadow side, depending on how much you trust your intuition, you know, you can move faster or slower along this timeline. So as I say, take it as it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. And yeah, so the next card, please. What's next? So starting with the Two of Wands, then we've got the Moon card, the Hangman. I'm going to cover this card up with something. Because it's the Ace of Swords, but it's quite a graphic Ace of Swords. It kind of means something that's going to hurt yourself, like a truth, something that's communicated, some kind of realization, but it hurts you. Okay, what's next, please, for Taurus? Something flipped and went back in there, and again. I try and do it on camera if I can. So I need 4 more cards, please, for Taurus in consecutive order, please. I'm not taking reversals. Sometimes I take reversals, sometimes I don't. In this reading, I'm not taking reversals. Right, thanks for shouting that while I'm recording. Right, well, that was good, wasn't it? Bess has pooped on the stairs, apparently. That's my cat. She's got a cat litter tray, but she likes to poo on the stairs and then pull the cat litter tray over the top of the poo. Because cats, right? Because cats, they do what they want. So sorry about the lighting there on that card. I will bring them closer so you can see them properly as I talk about them. The last card, please. What's the last card for Taurus? Oh, good, last card there. That's the World card. That is like totally learning some lessons. So, okay. So you are on the journey to learning some kind of major lesson. You're trying to complete some kind of cycle in your life here, where, yeah, the World card here is like completing some kind of like big, like milestone in your life, some kind of major lesson. It can be, you know, within or without. So it can be completing university, for example, or it could be, you know, getting to the top of your career and like going, what's next? Or it can be more spiritual. So breaking out some kind of like soulmate cycle where you've got some kind, like we have a lot of soulmates in our life. It's basically connections that we agree to make in our life to teach us lessons. So you know, perhaps you've been on some kind of soul growth journey where you've kind of completed some kind of major life lesson. And yeah, so what comes next is the Fool. It's like a new start. So you can see she's opening a door here, saying like, congratulations, you know, well done. You've achieved that goal. You've learned that lesson. So here you go. We're opening this door now to a new series of lessons, a new series of steps to climb, right? We're all leveling up all the time. We never kind of complete that journey. As soon as we kind of achieve one thing, we all kind of go, what's next? So, you know, It starts though with a decision here. Do you have any of the major arcana here? Your other major arcana is this card here, which is the Judgment card. I think, yeah, it is the Judgment card. It's like a rebirth, second chance. Interestingly enough, one of the songs that played for me this morning was Zombie. It was not the version by the Cranberries. In a moment, yeah, I'm going to stop and restart and find out who that was and pop it in your reading. Just because you've got zombies in the background there, it could be specifically for you. I'll be back with you in a second. Okay, it was Zombie, which is the Cranberries song, but it is covered by a band called Bad Wolves. Bad Wolves or Bad Wolf makes me think of Doctor Who and Rose Tyler, so I don't know if that has any meaning to you. Perhaps you know somebody called Rose, or you know somebody called something Tyler. Bad Wolves. So yeah, this is about rebirth, redemption, having a second chance with something. Yeah, like back from the dead kind of energy. So we'll get to that in a moment. Now you have you have the moon up here as well. The moon is like secrets, fears, the unknown, intuition. Piscean energy, this I would say is Scorpio, Libra energy. The world I would say is Sagittarius energy, but it doesn't have to be. Or the Hangman as well. You have actually got quite a lot of major arcana here. Yeah, definitely some kind of major cycle, major life lesson here going on for you. This is Aquarian energy. The Hangman looks at things from a different perspective. It can come with this sense of being tied up or held back, unable to move towards what you want to go towards, but it's because the universe causes some kind of blockage because you've not seen everything clearly yet. So the need to look at things from a different perspective or put yourself in someone else's shoes. You have two characters here. You've got the Page of Pentacles, and I believe this is the Page, yeah, the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. So this is quite young energy. I would say if this was the Page of Wands. I always read it as the Page of Pentacles, but it's for a reason, so I'll come back to that. Wands and Cups. So this could be two people, or it could be your energy, or it could be the same energy, but it's like it shows two people acting in a certain character. Again, it can be students. It's people who are learning about love and learning about passion. So I will come back to them as we kind of travel through your journey of the tarot. But in the center as well, the center is always important, is this Page of Wands. So learn some kind of naivety here, feeling like you're on a merry-go-round, like life is a merry-go-round, kind of enjoying the ride, having this sense of planning something or like wanting something to grow. But it's all to do with passion, where your passion lies. What fires you up, what do you want to do when you trust your gut. So that's right in the center of your spread. Okay, so leading your spread at the start of your journey, you've got a decision to make. This Two of Wands card. Now this is one of my, I don't like to say it too throwaway, but it is one of my twin flame cards, and with it being with electricity there, you could be feeling some kind of very strong magnetic attraction to somebody, a very strong kind of soulmate type pull. Now, as I say, people come into our life to teach us lessons. It's not always that we're meant to be with that person just because we feel a pull towards them. Sometimes it's literally just to kind of teach you something about yourself. They reflect you back to you so that you can learn something about yourself. It may be somebody who triggers you, somebody who presses all your buttons, but it's because it's not designed, it's not like this person's here just to irritate you. This person's here to make you react, to make you think, to make you do that work of like, why am I reacting? Why does this bother me so much? Why is this person like so, like, why does this person get to me? And it's normally something within yourself. So if you go down and you look within yourself, there's normally something there. It could be like something from childhood, some kind of insecurity, some kind of like negative experience that has kind of like shackled you in some way, or created some kind of negative pattern of behavior in your life. So when this other person reflects that back at you, normally they're very similar to you. They're either very similar to you or you're a complete opposite. But it's like, why does this person affect me so much? Why can't I stop thinking about this person? But yeah, they kind of push those buttons, and it makes you go, why am I so bothered about this? And then you go away and you do that soul work. But you can see here that it's a yes or no question. You've got some kind of decision to make. So I don't know what this decision is, but you've got two choices. There's a need to make a decision. Are you going to say yes? Are you going to say no? Are you going to say goodbye? Whatever this is, it leads into this feeling of fear. You can see she is actually going somewhere. She's leaving somewhere or going to something. She's walking out of those gates. They're giving me, this came through for somebody else, I need to be sure before I walk out that door. I want to break free, which is another Queen song. You've got two Queen songs there now. Is that your favourite band or something, Taurus? Yeah, so you can see there's these two pillars, these two dogs howling at the moon. Again, the moon card can sometimes symbolize for me a relationship at a distance, two people kind of howling to each other in the night, singing the same song perhaps. But yeah, the moon card, it represents fear of the unknown, not knowing what's going to happen when she walks out that gate or walks to the, I think she's walking to the house, to the castle. So it's like, yeah, what's going to happen when I cross that threshold? What's going to happen when I make that decision? So there's fear around it of the unknown, but it talks about using your intuition. You're really connecting with kind of like that spiritual sense, that kind of animal-like instinct. You've got this thing here that says electricity and wildness, right? So feeling the call. You've got this card here about feeling the call. You've got this card here about intuition, feeling that pull, right? That kind of like basal pull that kind of like guides you through instinct and desire and impulse. Again, like I said, that Taurus has this kind of like very fire sign, like impulsive, like goal orientated fire sign energy behind them at the moment. So I think this kind of like indecision here is caused by the fear of the unknown. What happens if I make that decision? Should I stay where I'm comfortable, or should I go out into the world? Should I go out and into the unknown, which I think ultimately you will do here at the end with this world card. So at the moment though, there's this kind of hold up energy, maybe feeling a bit like your hands are tied, but I think wherever you are, you know that the situation is dead. You know that it's like the bones have been picked clean of the situation. Like it could be, I don't know what this is for you, it could be any kind of scenario, right? But it's like you're stuck there and you've done everything. It's like, I remember at work once, I used to work in a clothes shop, and we used to be really, really busy, like up until like just the first 2 weeks of January, right, when the sale was on. But the sale would clear quite quickly and there wouldn't be much left. So for the last kind of like 2 weeks of January and the first couple of weeks of February, the shop was very, very, very quiet, very quiet. So we started doing things like all those jobs that we needed to do, sorting out filing, clearing up, giving everything a really good clean. And it got to the point where we were so bored, we were going through like cleaning out the spaces in between the floorboards, the dirt from the spaces between the floorboards, because we're so bored, like so bored. I'm getting bored by Billie Eilish now. I'm so bored. So that's what I'm feeling for you. Like wherever you are, so bored, but you're stuck there. Your hands are tied. You feel all tied up in something. You can't move, but you're really trying to like look at things from a different perspective. I think you're trying to see beyond the fear of the unknown. It's like, yes, I can stay where I am, but I'm so bored. So do I take that leap of faith into the unknown? I think then it leads into this Ace of Swords. Now, I feel like this Ace of Swords is you communicating something, or having some kind of realization that comes from this Hangman energy, where it's like you have this, like, it's like a sudden spark of inspiration or a sudden realization, like a light bulb moment, right? A sudden sense of clarity, of maybe I'm hearing clarity of purpose. It's like you know what you have to do, but whatever you have to do, and especially if it involves communicating something. Do you remember my throat closed up at the start of the reading? If you have to communicate something to somebody else, I really feel like there's this sense of it hurting you. There's like self-harm. Do you know what I'm getting here? Because the image of this card is somebody hurting themselves with their sword, and I do not condone self-harm at all. I understand very well like why people do it, and I would never ever criticize anyone for doing what they feel they need to do. However, it is like in the name self-harm is not actually the best way for you to deal with this situation. So I would encourage anyone who is feeling those urges to really go and speak to somebody. If you've already tried speaking to somebody, try speaking to somebody else. You know, we don't always find the best person to help us on the first try. Sometimes it takes a couple of tries, a couple of different perspectives to get that person who really can help. So if you are hurting yourself, please do go and try a few different methods of support, and hopefully something will work for you. But I'm going to talk metaphorically now. You know the film where the guy goes hiking through the mountains? It's like so many days, and he kind of falls into a ravine, and there's a rock that falls, and it falls on his arm, and the only thing that he can do in the end is cut off his own arm to escape. I'm getting this feeling here because if you look this, you know, you can see it with this image here. Maybe you've just watched that film, I don't know, but you can see here as well, it's like a disembodied arm, like the hand is not. Maybe you watched Addams Family, right? Addams Family with that hand that runs around. But here as well, it's like he tied up, so it's like he's gonna have to free his hands somehow. He's gonna have to maybe lose a leg to escape. So metaphorically, it's like wanting to leave a place, wanting to escape, like seeing the gates there. It's like almost they're the guard dogs, and they're like alerting people. It's like she's escaping, she's trying to leave. You know, sound the alarm. So there's going to be some kind of like self-sacrifice here, or self-harm, in order to be able to escape a situation. Again, I'm talking metaphorically. So you're going to have to take some sort of a hit, some kind of an injury. It could be an injury to pride, right, to ego. Yeah, that's coming through strongly. I think it's a hit to the pride or ego. You know, it could be with that song that was like, what's it called now? Let's stick together, you know, it's, you know, the connotation of that is somebody is wanting to leave a long-term commitment. So, and it could be a long-term commitment to anything, right? You know, in your reading, it could be a work thing. I think for some of you it is coming through as work, but you have got a lot of cups over here, which indicates relationships. So wanting to leave a situation, feeling really bored and fed up with it, feeling like there's nothing left, it's all skin and bones now. Having a lot of fear of the unknown, of like, what happens if I leave though? Like, what happens if I go and have to like divide the assets? What if I go and, you know, like my partner gets the house, you know, what happens? Do I get to see my children or not? You know, how's that going to work? This could represent 2 children, the 2 pages. So there's a lot to think about there. And it's like, you know, that if you left that situation, you know, there would be a sense of loss. Again, could have 2 children, maybe a water sign and a fire sign. It doesn't have to be. But sometimes you need to, I mean, it's your choice at the end of the day. It's your choice, but sometimes you need to do something for you. Sometimes you need to be selfish. Sometimes you need to put yourself as your own priority. And I always think as well, like, if you're in a relationship and there's no love there, if you're in a relationship where you're always fighting, where you're absolutely miserable and unhappy and depressed, and you have children, you're teaching your children that that's what a relationship is. You're teaching your children that you know, just because you've got a ring on your finger, you know, just because there's money involved, that you have to stay in a situation that makes you absolutely miserable and makes you feel like your soul is being leached out of your body every single day. Like, do you want your children to be in a relationship like that? Or do you want to teach your children that you follow your dreams, you follow your heart, you follow your passion, and you follow your, I'm hearing rainbow, you follow your, like, you know, you chase your dreams and you prioritize happiness. Like, what do you want to teach your children? So again, this is going to be relevant to some of you, but not all of you. Leave whatever isn't relevant for whoever's reading it is, and just take, it's a general reading, so there's going to be things in there for everybody. It's not going to be all 100% exactly your reading, right? If it is, then brilliant. You know, they clearly want to communicate something specifically to you. So it's like, think of the children, but maybe thinking of the children does mean that you have to leave. I don't know. It's not my decision to make, right? But I think these are children. If not, then there's something here to do with planning, doing a lot of research, kind of like learning about love and passion, uh, feeling maybe quite childlike in a connection. Yeah, like I say, these two cards are like they're the students of the tarot. They have learning to do. They're coming up with a plan. The the Page of Cups can indicate an apology. It could also indicate, normally they are communicating as well. The pages, they do have something to say. So you're saying something about passion and love, fire and emotion, right? But yeah, the page as well, they're very like fairy tale, very like romantic. It feels like with the carousel, it's like you're on some kind of carousel ride. You just keep repeating the same cycle, going round and round and round, because you don't break out. So it's like it keeps coming around for you where you've got the decision, you want to leave, you have like a moment, like a crisis moment where it's like, but I don't know what's going to happen if I leave because like I've got this fear of the unknown. So you ride the carousel again. And then the same thing happens that makes you want to leave, and you think, no, I'm going to stay here, I'm going to stick with it, ride the carousel again. But it's like you're in this never-ending story of this repeating pattern. So then you've got this, but then you've got this like fantasy here of this emotional connection, this love offer of something that's very pure and sweet and innocent. So this then runs into this redemption, right? This second chance. So this could mean a lot of different things. Sometimes it means giving a relationship another chance, some kind of an emotional wake-up call, and there's a revival in the relationship. There is a sense of, I mean, the Judgment card, it can be like hearing the call. And I think that's what that electricity is doing up there. It's like hearing the call, knowing that you need to go somewhere else. You really are doing that deep dive, though, that soul dive, right? Especially with this Hangman here. And swans are meant to pair up. Swans are meant to mate for life. And they're meant to have, you know, a partner who's equal to them. And your thoughts are blocking your heart space up there. So I'm just thinking everything through. Yeah, but this is like hearing the call, it's like hearing the drumbeat that's leading you to, it's something like Jumanji, right? Like hearing that drumbeat and being like, I know there's something I need to do. I know there's a risk I need to take here. I'm being called to something new. I'm being called to get off the merry-go-round. The story of this card is that the hero, who is called Raven, the girl she's called Raven, and she's rescuing this child from the graveyard. If she left the child there, the zombies would get her. She'd die. She'd become a zombie, right? She'd become one of them. Maybe this is the thing again with children. Maybe it's like if you left your child in that situation, they would become a zombie too, like a metaphorical zombie. The lessons they'd be taught would be like, you know, the same old lessons that everybody else is getting taught. And maybe that's part of like the Matrix kind of thing, where it's like, you know, that you have to get out, you have to rescue this child, get them out of the situation so that they can live their own life. Funny reading, Taurus. I feel like you, but then you've got, it leads straight back into this indecision. It's like, it's almost like instinctively you know what you have to do. Instinctively you know that there's something not right with a certain situation. I don't know what that situation is for you. It's like knowing that you need to get off the carousel and break away and be a good example to others. But it's taken a long time for you to, I feel like your thoughts, you know, this isn't logical, this isn't what people do. And that guarding of the heart space keeps you on that merry-go-round. But then, like in Mary Poppins, like the horses eventually, like, excuse me, sorry, because of that kind of fairy tale, believing in the magic, those horses come off the fairy tale, off the merry-go-round, don't they? And they ride off along the racetrack. But even if you are getting this kind of like, I feel like it could be something happens. It's like it does feel almost like a tower moment, like a light bulb moment, where suddenly you realise what you have to do. Or suddenly you know that you have to do something. Yeah, it's like you suddenly know that you have to do something. It's like, I can't stand this situation anymore. It's not right. It's not right. So you know you have to do something, that's the call, right? But you don't have the clarity of what to do. With this Seven of Cups, this is like having a lot of options, having a lot of offers, a lot of friends, a lot of just a lot of options. And there's a sense sometimes of being quite overwhelmed by all the different options. It really just feel like overall there's this sense of like comfort where you are, like it's familiar. And the familiarity makes it feel safe until that thing happens where all of a sudden you don't feel safe anymore. You don't feel secure because this thing keeps happening. But then you stay and then the cycle continues and you're like, I'm fine where I am. I'm comfortable. And then you hit that thing again that makes you want to leave. And it's like this Groundhog Day playing out for you because you're meant to leave. You're meant to break free from this cycle. You're meant to learn the lesson and break free, but you don't. You keep staying. So there's this element of martyrdom, of self-sacrifice, which keeps you in an absolutely miserable loop of fear of the unknown, knowing that you need to leave but being too scared to. And quite frankly, Taurus. But then finally, I think you do get off that carousel, but then you don't know, right? The fear of the unknown. You don't know what to do. You don't know where to go. You don't know who your friends are. You don't know who to trust. That kind of thing. You don't know. You're overwhelmed by all the options. It's like if all you've ever lived in was a cardboard box and suddenly you open the box and step outside, it's like, oh my goodness, I could go up the street, I could go down the street, I could go in that building, I could go to that cafe, I could go through that alley. Where do I go? Because you don't know. But it's like, just pick one and explore it. If it's not nice, come back and go a different way, right? But at least you've got options. At least you can move. At least you're not stuck. At least you're not tied up feeling like you need to gnaw off your own hand. And then this leads, your reading completes with learning the lesson. It's like suddenly you've got the key. Suddenly you know. Suddenly you can open the door to the box and go out anywhere you like. It's like all of a sudden, like, you know, I've seen the gilded cage with the two bluebirds inside and the cage door being open. It's like the cage door's been open for you all along, Taurus. You've had the key in your hand the whole time, and this is what you needed to realise. This is the lesson you needed to learn. You hold the key. You're the one that can make the decision. You're the only person who can make decisions regarding your own life. You're the only person who can tell Taurus what to do, right? Taurus is the only person who can tell Taurus what to do. Nobody else. And you can keep Taurus trapped with money, like all that gold, right? Keep Taurus trapped with money. Keep Taurus thinking that they're comfortable. Keep dazzle them with the gold, with the elephant and the gold flowers. But that gold is ultimately worthless. It looks really nice. Like, look at that horse. It looks really nice. But ultimately it just goes round and round in circles, and it doesn't speak to Taurus's heart. I mean, you like money, Taurus. You do like money. You like that feeling of security and comfort. But there's something that keeps on breaking your walls down. There's something that keeps on. It's like there's something that keeps on knocking at your door, Taurus. Like this unsettled feeling. Like you want to feel settled. You want to feel secure, and money does that for you, right? Tangible things does that for you. But only to a certain extent. And if something's missing, if something's not right, and I can't say what that is, to me it's just a general feeling like something's not right, then you need to kind of like open that door and get out. So look, yeah, you want your happiness. So let's get you an advice card. I said I was going to read that card. I'm running out of time. There we go, squeeze 4 more minutes out of the time. Let's get you an advice card, and I'll read that to you as well, because I forgot to do that. You've got another bird. It's funny as well, like the swan is with all those those pink flowers, and then it's like it dyes itself pink. Perhaps you're going to dye your hair pink or something, I don't know. Flamingo spirit. I feel like, did Aries get this yesterday? Flamingo spirit, 26. Maybe I'm dealing with an Aries and a Taurus. Like the Emperor card is Aries, Taurus. So, and the Empress card is Taurus. So it could be, I don't know, an Aries Emperor and a Taurus Empress, possibly. Okay. Balance comes easily to flamingo spirit, who sees what it was and what it will be, and stands strong in the face of uncertainty. Stands strong in the face of uncertainty. What am I saying? It's just validating everything I said because I'm an amazing tarot card reader. Lol. You can be informed by what came before and plan for a future yet to be, but do not resist flamingo spirit's call to be fully present in the now, where the real magic happens. With one foot in the life you are moving away from, and one in the future as you become the one who leads the life of your highest intentions, not somebody else's, not somebody else's wish, your own wish. You must make peace with the fact that you are not fully in either place. Embrace the in-between. The presence of flamingo spirit is also a sign that your creativity is arising within you and opportunities are beginning to present themselves. Remain here in a balanced state of mind, for there is much to know and learn before going forwards with new plans. You can trust this moment and yourself as you take in what you see and become aware of all that you are experiencing in this in-between time. Okay, hope that was helpful to you there. I am going to read that Two of Swords for you as well. Yeah, because it's an interesting spin on the Two of Swords. You can see that she's got two birds. How did I only just realise that? And she's wearing blue feathers. Taurus, it's the bluebirds. And they've got crowns on. I told you it was an emperor and an empress. Stalemate, uncertainty, considering options. Time to take a break to consider my options and think about things. There is no need to rush forwards. The perfect answer for the highest good will come to me if I take my time and remain in a peaceful state of mind. All right, Taurus, I hope that was helpful to you. That was an interesting reading. Two birds. Look, two birds. Two birds. If two birds is meaningful to you, like, why are you showing you and this other person as birds? Okay, and I saw the robin, right? Okay, I'm going to leave that with you there. Best of luck with that. Do take care. Let me know how that goes. And Taurus, you're amazing. You've got this. Like, Taurus, if I believe in you. If anyone can like go and get what they want, it's Taurus. But you do like to take your time to do it. All right, do take care. Leave me a like, subscribe, share this with friends if you think it's their story, all that business. And I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.